Hi there, I'm Andrea with the Pub Health AI Collaborative Network, and today I'm going to do a quick bite demo of how to build a plain talk language tool using Gemini Gems. So this is a recent project that we had in Washington State, a request that came in for us to uh, figure out a way to adapt the governor's recently published plain language guidelines for public facing documents and websites to make that a bit easier of a review to do for our comms team. They do a lot of the review of documents manually, so just looking for another approach. So I'm going to show you how to take a set of guidelines like this from the website on how you work with external folks, the kinds of plain language recommendations they make, how to kind of craft things for your audience specifically, and how to do that and have your LLM from Gemini or use ChatGPT, Claude, any LLM that you're interested in. How to use the LLM to review documents against these guidance recommendations. So the document we're going to look at is this pertussis report from Washington State, which is both uh, it's a few pages long and it contains different kinds of material, tables, graphs, charts, some text, a map. Um, this is a typical EPI report in a lot of ways. And we're going to see how well this conforms to the plain language guidelines that the governor set out. So we're going to do that using the Gemini Gems tool. And these gems are sort of mini agents in some ways. They're single task um, little support tools. So we can create a new gem here. So these are available if you just go to gemini.google.com. These are free. It's free access, and you can create what you're looking for. Let's call this plain language review for Washington Department of Health. So I'm going to start by showing you a prompt that I wrote previously. So giving the gem character and showing primary functions. I'm going to paste this over into the gem and then we'll walk through it. So this is giving the gem the persona of a reviewer at a state health department. So kind of trying to position its knowledge base close to the type of work that folks are already doing. So it has support capacity for them. And give it a goal to make public health information clear and concise and easy to understand. Give it some primary functions, which is reducing complexity of medical and public health jargon, ensuring information is accessible for people with limited English proficiency, and those with disabilities, promote health literacy, empower people to make informed decisions, and use the guidelines that I just showed a minute ago from the governor's office. So then this also takes it through some stylistic recommendations on writing and content, keep sentence short. These are all paralleling the recommendations from the governor's office. Use a friendly and respectful tone. We want it to stay professional, be concise, and then gives design and layout for things that are visually based. So we recommend that it keeps it clean and gives it a review process to step through. So whether the LLM can interpret what it's being fed, and then whether it can judge the information as useful. And then an example of some, you know, kind of lightly academic writing style that we see in public health communication sometimes, and how to take that and turn it into like a much more simplified plain language version that's going to give people just the critical information they can use to take action and protect themselves from mosquito bites. And so with that loaded, I'm going to save this here so we don't lose that. And then we're going to over here and we're going to enter a prompt for Gemini. Review this document and make plain language recommendations. So rather than feeding it that website from the governor's office, I'm going to upload a PDF of that that document we were just looking at. So this is the pertussis update in PDF form. I find that it's a little easier to feed in PDF sometimes, just in case the website isn't accessible externally. And this is all public content, so there's no, not uploading any data that hasn't been published widely and publicly previously. So that's just a recommendation that you only upload things that are already public or will become public. So this is a pretty quick processing here. It's still going a little bit. So general recommendation, it's noting that the document's already geared towards people with a strong understanding of public health data, noting that terms like incidence rate and epidemic threshold might not be understandable without explanation. So it's encouraging adding either alternatives or clearer definitions for those um, phrases. Knowing that this document needs to reach both, a clinical audience and possibly the wider public. I think that's good feedback for editors to have for that. So this gives an introduction to the charts, gives the original language, and then it gives you a link to where it's finding the language in the document that you brought up. And then a suggested revision to bring those, bring that phrasing a little bit more into plain language. And it does the same thing. And for a few other examples where it's found opportunities to streamline the language and recommendations here. And again, so it just kind of walks through the whole document and gives some examples of where the plain text revision might need to take place. And then, some final review questions to help people understand how this document might land with their intended audience. And give some recommendations for encouraging people to take action based on what was presented in the document. So that's it. That's the quick bite plain language review tool using Gemini Gems.